Hey guys and girls, it's time to go take a look at the big deer and watch deer antlers grow. I believe this is week number 8, episode 8. And it's going to be really, really interesting when you see if these antlers, or horns as we call them in the South, if they've grown very much in this last week. You know, a week goes by really in a hurry. I mean, a week goes by very, 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 very fast. And I don't even know how many hours in a week anyway. 24 hours, 7, 20, 168 hours. 168 hours in a week. So you think about how quickly an hour goes by. Well, a week is only 168 hours, so it happens in a hurry. So when you think that these deer, from the time that you saw these deer antlers last week to now, is only 168 hours, it's really a kind of an amazing thing to think about. I mean, it's one of those miracles of God that happens in nature, and it happens year after year after year, and it happens to millions of deer. They add quite a bit of horn all week long, and they'll do this, and they'll continue to do it. They'll do it all this month. They'll do it, you know, all through July. They'll do it in a little bit in August, and I mean, then they'll scrape that, you know, scrape the velvet off of those, and they'll end up with hard horns. But they're carrying a tremendous amount of weight up there on their head, especially these big boys we're going to be looking at. And we've started looking also at little Forrest. Forrest, remember, is only a year old. Forrest was named after Forrest Gump. He had crippled legs when he was a little baby and couldn't walk. He's fine now. He can get by just fine right now. But let's go take a look right now, first before we go into the pens, and look at Bazooka and Whitey and Bubba. Let's go look and see if you can tell any difference in Forrest horns. He's going to be a typical buck. And let's go see what he looks like from this time last week to right now. Well, as you can see, Forrest horns are out. They're really going to be nice and pretty. It's at least 6 point. I think it's going to turn into an 8. You can kind of take a look at what he's doing there. These out on the end are looking like they're wide and broad, like they're going to split out. So he's probably going to be an 8 point. These are his first horns. He's going to end up being a really nice, big, typical deer if he can live. He's picking up corn that he's dropped on the ground there. He's been really eating the corn a lot this morning. I've just put a little extra South Fresh. He's going to go over and clean that up. But he's really looking nice. You can kind of see how his is growing. Looking really, really good. You pretty boy, pretty boy. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at Bazooka and Whitey. And they are adding also. I'm telling you what, it's just really amazing the way the deer continually add those antlers. Oh my goodness, such pretty things. What an amazing work of God that happens every year with those deer. Really something. Well, I thought I would throw a couple of wild bucks in on this week's antler video growth. There's a couple of wild bucks standing out there. They're out there a pretty good ways. Those deer are 100 yards away. And I got my iPhone zoomed in to 6 power. Which is all I've got. That's the most I've got on iPhone 10. I don't know if an iPhone 12 zooms in further than that or not. But there's, I guess that little deer on the right might be a buck too. But there's a couple of wild bucks there, and you can see that their antlers are growing large also. I think it's a couple of does right over there. One of the things that you'll see is that these bucks will run together a lot in the summertime. You know, some of them are brothers get back together, and others are just get with 2 or 3 buddies. And you might see 3, 4, 5, 6 bucks running together during the summertime. They're all pals. And then they get into the fall of the year when they start going into the rut, and they all become enemies. They'll fight to the death. And then after the rut's over and the girls are not involved in their lives, they're all friends again. Are they redneck? Are they? Yeah, redneck deer. And Beamer, get in. You stay in here. And he's just waiting right here. You look at the size of his horns. I'm sitting in the mule, as you can tell. It looks to me like he's got 6 or 7 on each side. And they're going to branch out even more because there's still some big knobs on the end, which means that those are going to split. So that's pretty amazing right there. And looking at Whitey, and you see how friendly he is there, right up here by the gate. All the other deer and all the babies run the other side, but now that's just a pretty good looking deer right there. I'll just get in real close on him. You can see how much he's changed just from last week. Look how tall those brow tines are. The two right in the middle are called brow tines. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. His brow tines are split, so those are 4 points on the brow tines. So he's got his nose up. He's smelling Beamer right there. And way back here in the back is Bazooka. We'll go back there in a minute, but we'll just kind of look at Whitey since he's up here. Look at him. I know the gate's in the way and the fence is in the way, but we just got such a good look at him right here that it's just awesome. I mean, it's just awesome. And you can see he's out wider than his ears. He's getting pretty wide. He's got probably right now 7 or 8 or 9 points on each side, and he's going to have even more. Look at that deer as he walks away right there. Absolutely an incredibly beautiful deer. We're going to go in and look at Bazooka here in a minute. Look at some of the babies. The babies are just growing rapidly. I mean, they're just growing so fast, and they're just so cute, so precious. I enjoy shooting this video every week just to look at those babies, because we don't really get in the pen with them a lot because it's so hot right now, and even though we've had this little cool front in here, we don't want them running. I'm waiting until right here before dark, and it's pretty humid this evening. I wait right here before dark to shoot this video. It gets about as late as I can to shoot it and still get it on the air, but it's watching deer antlers grow. It's just one of the most interesting vids that I've ever done, because I've never watched them from week to week to week. And when you go back and look at some of those other videos, it's just astonishing how much they grow from week to week. And at some point in time, they're going to stop. I don't know exactly when they do that. We'll find out. And they won't all exactly stop at the same time either. I know that Bazooka was the last to get rid of his antlers, so he was the last to shed. Well, actually, Cyclops was, and we lost Cyclops, but he was the last, and because he had a late start on everybody else, it'd really been interesting to watch what happens to him there. But anyway, it's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and go in the gate and go back there in the back and see what's going on. We've got 18 babies is what we've got right now. So we haven't had, but I think we had 16 last week. We might have had the 18 last week, but we may have we may be about maxed out. I don't know. We got 13 girls and 5 boys. So let's go inside and take a little closer look. Whitey. And there, girls and guys, is Mr. Big. There is Bubba. Bubba is standing there with a head full of trinkets. I guarantee you. Will you look at that? Both sides are huge. Both sides are huge. One side is huger, I guess you would say. And that one side is so big, it looks like it's so heavy that he's actually tilting his head a little bit to carry it. I mean, it's just heavy on that one side, and it looks like he's having to tilt his head, and that drop tine is growing down, going right below his eye, kind of a dangerous situation. Now, we've got 14 babies in this pen too, so we're gonna see a lot of little babies running around here in a minute. Getting down here around by the edge. It's late in the evening. I didn't want to come down. I didn't want to come down and shoot this video until It got just a little bit cooler because it's awful humid today. It's not 100 degrees or anything. It's about 85. But will you take a look at Bubba? My. Will you look at that buck? And not only has Bubba got a lot of antlers up there, he's a 300-pound deer. You look at him with those big does, you see how tall he is? And those are some big does that's in here. You see how his head is kind of leaning just a little bit? It's tilting. Now he's holding it straight there. But when he runs, it seems like that one side is just so heavy. I have no idea how many points are out there on that. The other side is massive. But the side that's got the drop on it, and it's like, I guess it's got another drop there. I can't hardly really tell exactly. He's down in the shade, you know, and which I'd just soon, the whole pen's about in the shade right now. But he is just absolutely, look at that side. I mean, it's just really, he's unbelievably, that drop that's out on that one side is just huge. It's massive. And it's got to be really heavy. You can see right there, though, he's got a strong neck. He's a big deer. He can hold it up. But look at all that. I have no idea how many points are out there on that, and there's going to be more points coming all the time, looks like. Looks like he's going to have even more than what he's got now. I mean, he's just a massive, beautiful buck. And he's bred quite a few deer, quite a few of the deer that he bred. We've turned loose, so they're going to have their babies out in the wild. They will not have any tags on them. They will be just purely 100% wild deer, which is what we really want, and what we're trying to get going is have deer that look like him that have no tags in their ear. They're born in the ranch and grow up to that size of deer or close to it, but you can see how huge the deer is. Those are large-sized does. See the drop coming straight down now, how large that's got since last week? And the left side is really big, and it's got it's going to come out more points, but the right side is ginormous. I mean, what can you say? Just absolutely ginormous. Look at that little baby running with him. That's a little doe baby running with him there. I don't know what's happened to that girl. She might be losing some hair and getting on a lighter coat or something. They're just all so beautiful right now. The beautiful color with their summer coat. It's a thin coat, not nearly as large as, not nearly as thick as it is in the wintertime, of course. And he's going to go over to the other side. He's got a lot of room to move around right now. Let's look around and look at some babies while we're back here. Quite a few of the babies are right back here, so let's kind of ease around here. See if we can find a baby deer. I'm trying to move as slowly as possible because I got it zoomed out so much. I know it's lousy camera work, but I am not a camera worker. But now you got a lot of babies in there. We've had no new babies in a few days, I guess since Friday. Last Thursday or Friday, I don't know which day. We have 18. We have 18 beautiful little, those are two little girls right there. And you get over there to the corner, you see a passel of them. That's a little buck right out there in the front. All the mamas over there. There's quite a few little deer right in there. I see maybe one or two of them are having dinner, looks like, and back up under their mamas there. It looks like they're under there chowing down. Their mama's is standing there real calm, and now she's going to move out of the way and say dinner's over. They seem to let them drink just the right amount that they need. They don't let them overindulge. But there's some of those down there are feeding on that doe right in there that we can't see. It looks like they're all, a lot of times when they feed, their tail will spin around. You see their tail spinning around. But there's some pretty fawns. I just love those baby deer. You can't help but love them. Look at the size of that doe. Golly, she's gorgeous. And several little babies right in that corner. Now they're moving around. You can see how many are in there. There's actually 14 babies. 14 babies with this bunch of does here. I really believe we have. They're just so big and fat it's hard to tell. I think we have one or two more that's still gonna domino before it's over. But here we are almost to the 1st of July. But now we had some deer born in July last year, so that's not too late. Or late May is when they sort of start happening. The majority of them are born in June. And they cycle in 2 or 3 times, the doe do. So And that's a little buck right out in the front there. Got the tag in the right ear and 2 does right behind him. The does have got the tag in the left ear. Now Apache doesn't always sex them exactly right. Whitey is a good example, which I probably sexed Whitey, I don't know. But mostly little girls is what we've got, and they're just beautiful and precious. And I don't know which one is the little girl that was sick, but she's not sick anymore, she's fine. You can see they're all in great shape. She was probably one of that little tiny one. She might be that little tiny one right there, might be her, I don't know. But she's fine. We've checked on her, and I thought I was gonna get to raise her, but that didn't work that way. You see their mama cleaning their bottom. That's what they've got to clean their bottom, and they actually do that to kind of stimulate them and get them to go into the bathroom. They have to actually teach them how to do that. But look at those 4 little guys down there in that corner. Is there 4 there or 3? I guess there's just 3 right there in that corner. Yeah. Just absolutely, I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. They're such good mamas. And when you get these little guys running around, they're this size, they're just as precious as they can be, and they double in size relatively quickly. These deer will get pretty big pretty quickly, but you can see how small they are right now. And the majority of them are all down right in this area right here, and they're all up walking around, having a great time this evening. All righty. I love you, little guys. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Y'all are precious, precious, precious.